Hi, my name is Buster Rayburn, and this is my wife, Ellie. And we're here to tell you about a story that happened to us about a year ago.
Okay, so after I had heard about truthandequity.com on the radio station, I decided to come home and do some searching of my own on the internet. So I pulled them up and went over their profile and plugged that all in to just to see what the numbers would show me. And it was pretty amazing to the point that I thought, well, it really wasn't true, because we had a 15-year mortgage and it was telling me that we could pay it off, and I think it was 3 or 4 at that time. So I was like, wow, that's amazing. So I did a little more homework. I did the Better Business Bureau. I checked with them and tried to do as much research on them as I could, and where they came from and how long they've been around. So they checked out legit on everything. So that was the next thing I did before I introduced it to my husband, because I knew I had to have my ducks in a row for that, to introduce it to him, because I did the budgeting mainly, but he didn't like that word so much. So,
well, you got to understand, you come from a background, and the background's rough, then you don't believe that something this wonderful can be happening, even though we watched miracles happen in God's eyes with things He does. Truthandequity.com was a miracle that everybody can touch, everybody can see. It's right there, it's on paper. You don't have to go and find somebody to describe it to you. Once they show it to you, it's simple as adding and subtracting. And that's what Ellie showed me. She brought it to me, she opened the computer, and she goes, watch what I do. This adds it, this subtracts it, and that's what comes out at the end. And that's exactly what we started looking at. And so, even though we think this is too good to be true, the paper and the numbers don't lie. So, Ellie,
So we ended up, Kristen and Stephen Vincelli were the ones that were our agents for that gave us a call, and we set up a time with them, and we did mainly everything over the internet. And Stephen was really good about walking through everything with us and having the questions, because we had some a little bit of
apprehension.
Yeah, apprehension to, first of all, we didn't see him or ever meet him, so it was through the internet, so we had some apprehensions with that. The other thing that we were kind of concerned about, it was a variable instead of a fixed interest, and I was pretty used to your conventional loans where you had a fixed interest rate and you kind of knew exactly where that was, and the variable part is what I was concerned about. But Stephen went through all that and explained it and plugged in the numbers, so they gave you a really good, they increased the interest rate each couple months, so it gave you the worst case scenario of possibly what could happen. So I felt pretty comfortable with that, especially seeing how it was such a short time frame to pay it off. So we ended up with a 3-year, 2-month time span versus a 10 to 12-year time span of paying the house off, which was
and the 12
unbelievable, going down. That it was 3 years versus 12 years.
Yeah, matter of fact, the 12 years was really with us paying more than what you normally would pay on your loan, because it was actually a 15-year loan. But we were thinking that if we really pushed it and worked hard, we could do it in 12 years instead. And then we'd get this, and we look at it with this program, we could actually do it in 3 years and some odd months, and it was like almost impossible to believe.
The other good thing too was there was really, our lifestyle never changed. Nothing in our lifestyle had to change as far as how much we paid towards it. The mortgage payment, we were able to live our normal lives without changing anything. We had to change the way we budgeted our money, but we didn't change. There wasn't an increase on having to put into it to pay it off quicker.
Okay, now guys, you got to listen to this part. This is what's important. There's no budget for us, okay? You do it differently. You do, seriously, because you start working it a different way, so you have to start getting a little bit more careful with what you do. But the word budget was like removed, and I was liking that part. So guys, really, truthfully, believe us when we say that it changed our lives, but it changed our lives to better and made it easier for us, to where now we no longer have to worry about whether or not we're going to make our mortgage, whether or not we're doing the right thing, or whether or not what's going on with the economy, because we're down now to, I don't know, how many months we got left, babe?
We have 29 months left on our mortgage, and we started in September of
Wow.
last year, so we've not even been doing it a year. We started at $112,000, and we're down to $69,000 in that short a time.
So, no matter which way you look at it, we are kicking. I mean, I can say, God, thank you so very, very much, and it is God. And I can also say, thank you to the two people that was in our lives, that came into our lives, which was Stephen and Christine. And they stood up for us, they explained it to us, they talked to us. And I found out even later on, when we would make a telephone call to them, they had no problem explaining what was going on and why this was happening. And there's a lot of funny stories that goes along with us meeting them, and a lot of things that we did getting to know them. But it's been a wonderful ride, and I think Ellie's got some more to tell you about that, really the technical part of it.
There's tools that go along with the truthandequity.com that you can go on, and you're able to go on there and look at it every month and see how the money flow is going. So each month, Buster actually does the bill paying, but then I go into Truth and Equity, and I'm the one who looks at our bank statement each month and makes sure that we're on track and we're staying where we need to be. It takes me about 5 minutes each month, and it's very easy to do. You do a couple figures and add them up and plug them in, and that's it. So.
And paying the bills is no different than the way you pay the bills now, probably, online. Everything's the same. I just program in how much that bill is, and the bank pays it the same way. We're just using a different bank. But the sweetest part about this is now that we have, did you say 29 months?
29 months.
Now that we have 29 months left, we've been talking and praying, and because of what we do for a living, up until now, my wife's had to work a full-time job, go to school, and we had to do the ministry stuff that God laid on our hearts. But now, because of this, and because we know that we're so far ahead of ourselves, she now only works 24 hours a week instead of 40 hours a week, and she has more time to spend in school, so she's finishing with Dean's List. That's great. That's probably really me that got her to do that. But anyway, it allows us to do something that we've dreamed about and we've talked about a lot. It's going to allow us to take, after this 29 months, we have everything paid for, so we can take the money that we used to pay on a house and we can buy another house. And we can literally help somebody move in and buy themselves a house. And we can make this a total ministry the way God planned it to be. There's no doubt in my mind that God introduced us to this company and to this people, truthandequity.com, because he wanted us to use it in this manner. So guys, truly, with the way they got it set up and the way you're allowed to use it, you can do anything you want to. Even right now, we can take $20,000 a month and invest it in something else. It's our money. We're still allowed to use it when we want to. We've decided to pay everything off and then start investing.
We became our own bank. So it sounds like it's too good to be true, truthandequity.com, but it's truly not. It works.
Actually, it is almost too good to be true. So, thanks for listening to us, and God bless you. I hope you guys listen and pay attention.